I am in studio with Acie Lumumba. He is a Zanu-PF communication strategist, and we're unpacking the Gold Mafia documentary series by Al Jazeera and trying to find out exactly what is now going to happen.
The Gold Mafia is bigger than the government, bigger than any of the authorities.
What do you think is going to happen?
They kill you, don't they?
Exactly.
Undercover journalists pose as gangsters who want to launder more than 100 million US dollars.
It's black friend. How are you?
His funds are...
You must always have the king with you, the president.
Acie, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me over. I've been wanting to talk on this show for a while. I love this show in particular, so thank you.
Oh, thank you for that, Acie. You know, this is we've been speaking about this the Gold Mafia.
Right.
When we saw part 1, it was trending. By the time we got to part 4, which was last week, the numbers had gone hectic, and the talk of number 1. As they refer to him in there.
Yeah.
The ambassador at large.
Yeah.
Talk to us about this. Where are we? What exactly is happening? What has happened in Zimbabwe? And with the state that the country is in, it is worrying.
Right. So, 3 important things you mentioned. Number 1 is that when the documentary came out, it was trending.
Yeah.
Now, that was precisely the point of a documentary coming out,
course.
right? You make content so that it trends.
Yes.
So if you want content to trend, you must make it trendy. And you know as well as I do that in order for a picture of yours to trend on any social media platform, make it a little bit spicy. In fact, project what it is not. Look a little prettier, put a little bit more makeup. Make it look like you live in the hotel room that you're taking a picture in, right? In the bathroom you're taking a picture in. So Al Jazeera definitely won what they were trying to achieve, which was to be trendy. And they did everything you do in order to be trendy. They came up with things that become trendy when you tell them to people. But the second thing you then mentioned, which gets into the meat of what it is that is trending about it, is the story of number 1. From the very get-go, they said they were going to expose to us how the president was involved in smuggling of gold. Right up until the 4th episode, in fact, we all kept waiting on the edge of our seats. Show us the president of Zimbabwe doing a transaction with Ambassador Angel. That's what we want to see. By the time the episode ended, in fact, the very last clip of the episode is a conversation between Ambassador Angel and the investigators about a meeting with the president not taking place. The meeting did not take place.
The meeting did not take. You need to speak to
the president
himself.
100%. I'm glad you also brought that up because that was the third point.
How do we marry these? Because then it really kind of confirmed that the president was seemingly involved.
Right.
Yeah, because he then put the phone down and said, "Ooh, she's shouting at me," and told me to speak to him directly.
Which is precisely what we should have waited for next, right? I mean, now that we know that you've spoken, so let's assume they are absolutely right.
Yes.
And they are not wrong, okay? Let's assume they are not subjected to questioning as Al Jazeera. And Ambassador Angel called the First Lady. The First Lady tells the ambassador the next instruction is communicate with the president. Oh, surely then this drama should have taken us to the next point of Ambassador Angel talking to the president. Let me actually tell you what was happening behind the scenes. So when you're in any diplomatic protocol, there is what are called buffers of security. Now, a buffer of security to your president is if I, as Lumumba, want to go to President Cyril Ramaphosa and bribe him, there are buffers I'm going to have to go through. Some are designed just to check if I am who I said I am. Some are designed just to check if I'm weaponized. Some are designed to check if I'm counterintelligence. The job of the ambassador was to counter-check what was about to go to the president. Now, if they wanted to bribe the president, it was the ambassador's job to first of all proclaim the president cannot accept a bribe, which he did. You heard him say it over and over again that the president does not accept bribes.
Yes, but he used a different word. He used a different term. The term was appreciation.
Which he used a different term to illustrate the president does not accept bribes.
But
The term was still designed to illustrate.
Yes, but the term.
He does not accept
was
bribes. Now, does he
changed.
accept appreciation? We will never get to find out if he does or if he doesn't. Here's the trouble with the media, right? It takes 5 minutes to destroy someone's reputation that they've built over 20 years. If I wanted to destroy your reputation, Lulu, I need 5 minutes to say what happened in the studio when nobody was watching.
Yes.
And I can come up with a beautiful story, mommy, of what you and me did when these microphones came out, and you're not even given an opportunity to defend yourself. All I'm saying is the relationship between an ambassador and the president, forget Zimbabwe, talk about the UK, America. South Africa ended up in apartheid and colonialism as a result of an ambassador. It's an ambassador who is sent to go and take and bring back. What ambassador did do, and what we should focus on, is he did go out there and figure out how do I bring money into the country. People say it was black money, it was corrupt money. If you can answer me this one question, Lulu, you're right the rest of the interview. Where was the money actually coming from? Nowhere in the documentary do we actually get to find out. Is it drug money? Is it gun money? Is it liver and kidney money? You tell me, you're a journalist, you're a media practitioner. What is black about the money that was coming in 4 episodes later? I'll wait.
Okay, let's wait, because we need to go to the headlines, but we'll
Sure.
come back and unpack this. It is
All right.
12:30 Central African time. I am in studio with Acie Lumumba. He is a Zanu-PF communications strategist, and we're unpacking the Gold Mafia documentary series by Al Jazeera and trying to find out exactly what is now going to happen going forward. It's 12:30 Central African time. Chanduli Gege up next with our docu-series by Al Jazeera, an expose that shocked the world, shocked many South Africans, Zimbabweans, and when you look at the crisis that Zimbabwe is in. I think in that clip itself, they showed a few young people who were trying to get gold from the ground, and it was shocking and it was saddening at the same time. Zimbabwe has a lot of resources. So, what happens now? This docu-series has taken place. We've all seen it. As you say, a perpetuation of certain ideas or to make news. And, the fact that Al Jazeera has gone out to spend so much money, there is some truth to this docu-series.
Right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. There is some truth, and Al Jazeera has gone out of their way to spend a lot of money. But let me correct you on something. Al Jazeera did not produce the documentary. The documentary was produced independently and sold to Al Jazeera. That's why there is no Al Jazeera employee in the documentary. They say our investigators. So these are not Al Jazeera employees. In fact, in their credits, they even go further and announce that the following people are the ones who did this. We are the ones who published it. So be very deliberate to separate the work of Al Jazeera and the showcasing of Al Jazeera.
Okay.
SABC puts out adverts, right?
Acie,
Yeah.
you're deflecting.
I
Let's get back
apologize.
to-
Good.
let's get back to the key,
Where
because
do we go now? Sure. Let me deal with that. The very first thing any government is supposed to do is when a charge or a claim has been made.
Yeah.
You cannot just start by arrogantly saying no, it's false or no, it is not true. You must do a due diligence,
Of course.
which is what the government of Zimbabwe, like any government in the world, would have done, including the government of South Africa. And that due diligence was to say, for all the individuals mentioned or highlighted to possibly have compromised either their positions or the state, we are going to suspend their bank accounts.
Okay.
That was the first thing. Let's make sure the money is not moving, because if money is moving, then you might never be able to catch it if it gets externalized. Number two, they said, let's now dispatch the agencies of government who are responsible for investigating. The problem with you and me, Lulu, is we hear a story, all of a sudden we're forensic experts. Now we think because we watched the documentary, you and me are experts. They said, no, give this to the intelligence, give this to the police, give this to the investigation department, the national investigation of the country. All 3 departments went and sat in a joint command to carry out an investigation on Ambassador Hubert Angel, an investigation on Simon Rutland, an investigation on Ewan Macmillan, an investigation, which are the 3 Zimbabweans in question.
Yes.
The rest, I mean, they're too small. It's like trying to go after the drug dealer on the street. All the other Zimbabweans are so too small. So they went after the big 3, froze all their accounts.
Yes.
Government then came out later and said, well, we've done We started with number 1, which was Hubert Angel. Hubert Angel, we have cleared him. They explained why they've cleared him.
Why have they?
Because what were we looking for when we froze his accounts? We were looking for how does money come in and how does money get out.
But Acie,
And who brings it in?
Hold on.
Sure, go ahead.
We saw a number of gentlemen, father and son duo, carrying bags
100%.
onto
We did.
flight 713 and
That
coming
is
back on
correct.
flight 714.
What we did not see.
What was in the bags?
Gold and
that's-
cash. Oh, absolutely gold
Exactly,
and cash.
so-
But what we did not see, Lulu, is Hubert Angel holding any money or Hubert Angel holding any gold. We did not. Surely you didn't see that.
No, we didn't see it.
Nor
but
did we even
heard
see him
say-
in a room where
No,
this was
no,
happening.
He did say he has immunity.
He does.
Because when he gets off the plane, he doesn't get searched. Everything from the plane to his house
Right.
is safe.
Every ambassador has that. by the
Every
way.
ambassador has that. But
It's the Geneva Convention.
this is now him speaking about how
He
they're
will be
going to
moving the money.
moving the money and the gold. So we can't say we don't. Yes, bank accounts are
Which is
frozen.
precise, and you
but
you
now-
are right. So,
so how
it
does that-
raises a flag. You're very
Exactly,
right.
it
Which
does.
is why the
So how is he
reaction,
cleared?
the reaction to the flag,
Yeah.
is now let us investigate this.
How long
now,
is the investigation process going to take?
Oh,
Because now
bear in mind, I told you about the buffer protocol.
Yeah.
The intelligence system, the guy who was sitting next to the ambassador is intelligence. You wouldn't know it, I wouldn't know it, but they knew
So
it.
the guy who kept smiling and agreeing with everything the ambassador was saying.
No, there's a guy who wasn't even speaking at all. There was
Yes, yes.
right at the furthest. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's an intelligence operative. I mean, anybody who works in the foreign ministry for your own education is an intelligence operative.
Of course.
They are designed to spy
Yes.
on another country and bring the information back to theirs. This is the guy who would write a report every night and send a communique back to Kaguvi in Zimbabwe to say this is the meeting that took place. Notice in all the meetings the ambassador had, by the way, speaking of the ambassador, he has less than 3 changes of clothes. So we're not talking about more than 3 meetings.
Yes.
We see him in only 3 changes of clothes. The idea was to portray Ambassador Hubert Angel as the conduit to get to the president in the smuggling of gold. Is gold being smuggled out of the country? Zimbabwean government said that before Al Jazeera.
Okay.
Like we make it look like Al Jazeera informed us gold is being smuggled out of South Africa.
Yes, but now we have run out of time. But very
Oh,
quickly.
geez. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, time is not our friend today. What has happened now to the niece of the president?
Yep. Henrietta Rushwaya.
Henrietta Rushwaya,
Correct.
and Simon. Okay, yes, he's accounted
Simon
and
Radin,
frozen,
yeah.
but he spoke of. I mean, we all caught this. He's got a Rolex watch that the president's son gave to him because he was owing him money.
Yeah, Ewan Macmillan said some stuff in that documentary that is considered racist by many, including myself.
Yeah.
But understand, Ewan Macmillan spoke in that conversation what like you and me would speak if we're talking about white people thinking we're not on camera.
But that's
We
the
would
thing,
say
he didn't
exactly
know he
the
was on
same
camera.
things. He didn't know he was on camera.
Yes.
So yes, he
None
gave
of them
reference
knew
to
they
black
were on
people.
camera.
Listen, I use reference about white people. If I call them worse terms, okay? All the time I call the white people in this world more terms. However, what the question is, what happened to the niece? What happened to Iwan?
Yeah.
They are under investigation. Now, if they are guilty, they must absolutely be answerable. What we must always desist from is saying because we saw a tweet, because we saw a little clip, we must judge somebody as guilty without even giving them the opportunity to be sent to court.
We have to chat about this once the investigations are done.
We must. We can do our own documentary, you and I.
No documentaries, but we want to know, and the people want to know exactly what has happened
100%.
and what does
And
this
transparency
mean.
is important.
Exactly.
And I think it must
and
be given to the people.
especially with the fact that Zimbabwe is in an economic crisis, and it used to be one of the best performing
Bread
countries
baskets of the continent.
Exactly. In the
100%.
south, not only the continent, especially in the Southern African region basically.
Yeah.
So Acie, we need to do this again.
We
Tracy, we need to come back to this.
Tracy,
So once
you heard
they
that.
have done the investigation and we have more information, because there's also the South African part.
Oh, yeah.
And
And
how
that's very
the Zimbabwe
critical now.
government is now working with South
100%.
Africa and what it means going
There's actually a
forward.
joint command on that too.
Exactly. All right, that's Acie Lumumba, Zanu-PF strategist, joining us live in studio to unpack the gold mafia. So 4 parts of the gold mafia on the Al Jazeera expose. So we're going to have part 2 of Acie Lumumba and an update with exactly what is going to happen going forward. Our econ update up next with Tabiso Lohoko. It is 12:40 Central African time.